is agricultural engineering?
Well, with agricultural engineering, I would say the definition is taking applied sciences and using it to make agriculture more productive or more environmentally sound, or improving agricultural production. Right.
What is biological engineering?
Biological engineering, it's the same thing, except it's probably broader. It's any type of living system. How do we improve upon, design those better, make them more functional, or create more product or better attributes in that system through using science and engineering principles.
What kind of classes do you take?
Well, it's very broad. I mean, compared to other engineering disciplines, in agricultural engineering we get a little bit of everything. We take just a couple courses in electrical systems and electronics. We've got a couple courses that are more like civil engineering and environmental stuff. We've got a couple courses that are mechanical in nature, and that was because ag systems are very diverse, and working in them requires knowledge in all those fields. So unlike any other engineering field, it's more like a general engineering degree.
What kind of jobs are out there?
Jobs are all over the board. I know at one time power companies used to be the number one. Georgia Power was the number one employer of agricultural engineers, but we've got them working in environmental fields. We've got them working back on farms with food processing industries, with electronics firms. I mean, basically, you learn a skill set that equips you to work well in any of these areas, and a lot of employers like having somebody like an ag engineer or biological engineer on board, because their knowledge is so widespread that they tend to be more robust than a specialty.
Are you limited with an agricultural biological title?
Not necessarily. I mean, we do face some issues, like when you apply to traditional engineering firms. Some of those people have no idea what an agricultural engineer is either, and so you have to educate them. And I know when I graduated and I went out looking for my first job, the agricultural in front of the engineering did create a stigma with some of the employers, but the ones that had hired agricultural engineers and knew what they could do were usually quite complimentary of them.
What, do you design tractors or something?
Your typical thing was, well, what do ag engineers do? Design tractors? And, well, yeah, we can do that, but do you got a race car? We can work on that too, or any other mechanical system, or we can, build an office building or a barn. Same principles apply.
What is the favorite part of your job?
Part of my job is that I work on a wide variety of issues, especially here in my job with the university, working in extension. I never know what my next call is going to be doing, and if you ask me what I'm going to do next week, I don't know. I'll be helping people solve problems, and it'll be something new and interesting almost every day. When I first graduated with my bachelor's degree, I got a job working for a civil engineering company, and I found that very interesting. For the first 3 months, I designed a wastewater treatment plant and got that on the ground, and then I moved on to the next job, and I was designing a wastewater treatment plant for a different city, and I was like, well, this is almost the same thing. And I got to the third project I worked on, and it was another wastewater treatment plant in another city, and I was like, I know how to do this, and it wasn't as fun anymore. And with the job I have now, I don't get tired of anything, because I'm constantly working on new problems, and they change all the time.
How do I know if agricultural biological engineering is right for me?
Well, I think the biggest drawback or characteristic you need that limits most people is you've got to have an aptitude for math and science. I mean, you've got to take all the way through differential equations, and if math scares you, this probably isn't going to be a major you're going to enjoy a lot of. Beyond that, I don't know, engineers have the stigma of not being social, but I think that actually you've got to be able to work with a wide variety of people. I mean, engineers by their very nature have to work with a lot of other disciplines, and working with these other people is a very important part of the job, I think.